Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout to share for Simple Stories. I'm using the Winter Wonder collection, which is really gorgeous. I love it, it's one of my favourites. I am scrapbooking some photos of a recent trip ice skating and this Winter Wonder collection is perfect. So I initially started off with a square of this fantastic paper. I just love this one with all the dots on, I thought initially I might centralise it in the middle of my white cardstock background, but I actually decided to mount it onto a piece of this fabulous kind of corally colour paper, and then I've decided to offset it so it's not in the center. So right now I'm just cutting a piece of this paper that is slightly bigger than the other square, the coloured square. I'm doing it twice, right? So I'm doing my best to save as much of that paper as I possibly can. I really liked it. It's great. It's so good for like mounting photos as well. So I'm trying to preserve as much paper as possible. So you can see that I cut a square of it, and then I went round it again so that my square that I've cut here is bigger than my coloured pattern paper, the dotty paper, but then I've also cut the middle out of that coral one to preserve as much of it as possible. So that means I've got a bit left over that I can use to mount photos or do something else with. You know, it's really good for layers, that colour. You can see that I've got 3 photos, or I've got quite a few. I've got 4 photos on the go, and I'm wondering if I can fit them all on the layout. Now it's very awkward because I have one that's one way round, and then the others are the other way round. So normally I try not to mix orientations of photos, or if I do, I tend to stack them or cut them down so that they're similar size. They don't have to be exactly the same size, but not having that really big step area is not always great. So I just struggle with it. I mean, on another way of looking at it is that when you do have a big step between the different sizes of photos, often that gives you a really perfect place to put embellishments, but I still struggle to work if the step is too big. So what I actually have done on this layout is that I've created two completely separate areas for my landscape photo, which is on one side, and then my 2 portraits are going to go on the other side. And because there's a gap between them, we don't have that awkward look of them being different shapes. So anyway, yeah, it works out quite well. Right, so you can see that I am trying to figure out where my landscape photo is going to go, and I've kind of settled over on the left edge, and I'm cutting out some of the 2x2 squares from the 4x4 stroke 2x2 elements sheets. I always enjoy using those little squares. They're always full of fun phrases, and they're small enough that they work well as embellishments. So I've just cut a few of those out. I've got my title that I've decided to use, "'Tis the Season to Sparkle." The photos were taken around Christmas time or just after, so that really works. The tags I've cut from the tags paper. I've got a craft coloured one and I've got a darker blue one. I really love the dark blue, it's almost like a teal, very dark teal in this collection, and I really liked that, so I wanted to bring in some of that, and it goes well with the fact that we're wearing black as well, so or I am, so I'm just kind of you know, playing around. I'm getting my photos mounted. I'm using journaling cards from the 3x4 elements paper to mount my photos. They're a little bit big, so I cut them down. They also have some lovely phrases in the middle, so I've cut those out. So I'm really demonstrating my what's the word? My frugality methods of scrapbooking here, when I really want to save every piece in a collection. And even though Simple Stories are very generous with the things they send us for the design team, I still just can't help myself try to preserve as much as possible. And today is one of those days. So I've cut out phrases from the middle of journaling cards to preserve those. I've cut out middles of papers, yeah, anyway. So you can see that I've skipped forward slightly. I've off-centered my middle piece for the background over towards the right hand side and chopped off the edge. So my middle section only has 3 borders going around 3 sides rather than 4. I've got my photos stuck down, my tags are in place, my title's in place. I'm adding embellishments. I've added those squares. I doodled around the squares, by the way. Even though I've distressed the edges of each one, I still felt they didn't quite stand out perfectly. I think it was because they're up against, they've got competition with the Snow Happy square, which is so dark, that stands out and effectively takes all the limelight. The eye travels straight to that because it's so dark. So just by putting the little doodled border around the other 2 squares, you can see at the bottom the white one that says Let It Snow and the blue one at the top with the socks on. Just by putting a doodled border around the edge, that just helped lift them off the page and give them a little bit of the limelight as well. So I'm just adding some flowers from the floral ephemera, so the floral bits and pieces, just tucking them in wherever I can. At the top I've added a polar bear, he's super cute. Over by my photos on the right I've added another little subtitle that says So Cold, and some little embellishments as well. So I've got a coffee cup, although that doesn't stay there, and I've got a tree, and yeah, I'm just going to create a very small little cluster over there, and I want to create a little cluster at the top there as well. So I'm just very small, just to balance the giant cluster over on the left hand side. I mean, that is so huge, it goes all the way down that big piece in the middle, which is around 10 inches, so it's big, very big cluster. Obviously it sits, the cluster incorporates my landscape photo and the title, so it's a giant cluster. So I just felt that I needed something over on the other side as well to balance that out. So 2 small clusters does the job quite well. Yeah, I'm just adding to those little clusters and getting everything stuck in place and stuck down, I'm adding in, I've got a mixture of embellishments. I've got some chipboard, I've got some foam stickers from the foam titles pack, I've got floral bits, I've added some little chipboard pieces, I think they're from the decorative brads, also from the chipboard stickers. I've got the floral bits and pieces, and I'm also adding in some decorative brads. I love those. I love to have different textures on my layout, so it's really lovely to have all different things. So I'll say I've got a mixture. I've got the chipboard, I've got the decorative brads, I've got ephemera, I've got foam, so I've got all sorts of different textures and things going on, different levels, different heights, different looks, different finishes. So so I've added, I've stuck everything down now. I've just added my journaling along the bottom edge of the layout. That gave me a good place to put it, and because I could just follow the line, just sprinkling over a few sequins. I love adding sequins to give everything a little bit of sparkle, and I love everything to sparkle, especially with the Winter Wonder collection, because it's all kind of like icy, so I feel that everything should sparkle. So I'm adding some sequins. I'm just sticking those down with some glossy accents, and then in a moment I think I'm going to come in with some splatters of paint, and I've chosen to use silver paint for all of my Winter Wonder layouts, just because the silver paint goes really well. I quite often use white, sometimes use black. Black wouldn't have worked too well on these because it's got the dark navy, so silver was absolutely ideal, went perfectly with the colours. So yeah, just added some splatters there, and that is me all done. So yeah, thank you very, very much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the layout come together. I have really enjoyed working with this collection. It's my favourite one for a while. I just love it. I'm just such a sucker for icy, wintry collections. I just love the colours. So thank you so much for joining me. That was Nikki Rowland for Simple Stories using Winter Wonder.